Good morning. Today's lesson is 5.13, Designing Observational Studies. How can we design different types of observational studies? So today is really building off Monday's lesson. I took your feedback to heart and I designed this lesson to help kind of just iron out the questions and misconceptions. Alright, so what you do now today, you're going to read this scenario, you're going to answer these two type of questions, and then you can come back and review your answers here. Alright, so what type of study was conducted? So this was a cohort study. Now, why was this a cohort study? Well, first, it was a group of people, right? The attendees at the luncheon, that was your cohort. Now, what they were focused on is what dish caused the outbreak. So we could think of the dish as the variable. So you have all these people that ate all of this food, but we know that one of the dishes caused salmonella. So we get to figure out which one. So you're going to take that group, you're going to analyze who ate what, and then find a hopefully consensus, a hopeful consensus. This dish caused these people to get sick. So this stuff is just a review from Monday, but just so we're aware, there's three main types of observational studies. Now, a question that I saw come up was, are there more types? Yes, because within each of these three categories, there are specialized types. For instance, there's specific types of cross-sectional studies that are solely for the medical field, or an example of a case control study that is solely for economics. But for now, and for our class, we are going to focus on just these three big main ones. So cross-sectional, specific point, specific time, right? I want to survey these students at this time to see some relationship. Case control, and I got some questions about this, is very similar to an experiment. The only difference is, with an experiment, you as the researcher are changing the environment, right? Maybe you're making one group study a certain way, or maybe you're making one group eat a certain way, right? A case control study simply organizes the groups based on the participants' preferences, right? I'm not going to assign anyone a specific diet or a specific study method. I'm going to use what they told me to make my groups. And then the last one is cohort study, which we're starting to do now. It's when we take one group, and it tends to be a diverse group, right? When we talk about the group for a cohort, it's usually like same age, same gender. It's not like same habits, if that makes sense. But then and the other difference between cohort and, let's say, a cross-sectional is a cross-sectional is a specific point in time. A cohort study tends to go over a period of time, so it's much longer of a study. And to help you guys think about these three different studies, right, what we're going to do today is we're going to use the same situation, but then design different studies based on that situation. So for this example, right, what you guys are going to do is you want to research whether reviewing written notes is an effective study method. So you're going to take that situation and you're going to design those three studies for that situation. When you're done, come back and review your responses. Alright, so what would a cross-sectional study look like? Well, a cross-sectional study would be we interview students about their study habits for the June 2013 revisions and then compare their responses to their exams to look for any association between reviewing notes and improved scores. So basically, we find out who studied how. We look at one specific time frame, right, the 2019 regions, and we see if there's an association between studying written notes and doing better on your exams. A case control would be separate students into two groups based on their responses, those who study by reviewing written notes and those who do not study, when we then review their scores in 2019 regions to see if there's any difference. So again, remember, difference between an experiment would be an experiment, we would be like, you're going to study using written notes and you're not going to study. Here, we organize the students based on their own preferences and then compare their data. Notice the difference between cohort case controlling cross-sectional, was we found two groups, right, and we separated them based on some characteristics. Now, cohort, we would interview students about their study habits and then track their standardized tests from the previous year. So, very similar to a cross-sectional. Differences, right? Cross-sectional, we looked at the June 2019 Regents scores. That was it. A cohort study, we're going to look at all their test scores from the entire year to build a much deeper piece of data. All right, so similarly, you're going to take this scenario. We want to study that the exercise students has on students' mood during the quarantine. So again, you're going to take those three types of studies and design them. One last thing. I heard this question, I saw this question come up. Can you have more than one study type in a situation? In our scope of our class, no. In real life, yes. Researchers would definitely conduct multiple studies over the course of an extended period of time to refine and enhance their conclusions and their results. Alright guys, that's it for today. Have a great day.